crochet friends, and welcome to my channel. Today we have a tutorial for the Be Glam Poncho Blouse that I'm wearing right now. Welcome to my channel again. For who's new here, I'm Katarina and I'm the person behind By Katarina Designs, and I share with you on this channel crochet tutorials, and we are coming here meeting weekly to talk about my projects, to chat about crochet, to share with you what I have learned in this period of time since I'm doing this crochet designing thing. So if you are interested to follow along and this might be something that you're interested about, then please subscribe to my channel and I will be really grateful for that. For who's not new here, welcome back. Today we have this amazing tutorial, so let's talk a bit more about it. Okay, so as I said, I designed this Be Glam Poncho Blouse a few years back, and lately I'm trying to give a new vibe, to write them better, because I feel like I have all designs that deserve to be there in a proper way, to be easier to follow, and yeah, you know, enjoyable to make for you who are interested to crochet, especially clothes, because this is what I'm doing over here. So Expression Fiber Arts sent me some yarn. I had some collaboration before with My Precious Sweater. It's about to come out, the Starry Night blouse, and they love this design as well, the Be Glam blouse, and asked me to use their yarn to remake it. And with this opportunity, I said that it would be a good idea to just give a new thing to the pattern and make a new video tutorial, and yeah, here I am. So about the construction of this blouse is worked in panels. You will have two identical panels, the front and the back, and each panel is worked in two sections. So first section will be this, which will give you one sleeve and the neckline. And then we will have this, that is, we're continuing the first section, and we will decrease on one end just to have this bottom straight and to shape the sleeve. So this is kind of a poncho, so it's not with defined sleeves or something like that. And here you can see the decreases. I added a border and edging in single crochet stitches. Also here I decreased a bit in this side, so the neckline will be a bit narrower than it was before. And of course I added the same edging for a bit of a cuff. So this is it. And I choose to use two different stitch patterns because I thought that it will be interesting to see like half and half or something like that. So I think it's really nice, and I think it's looking really beautiful. And besides that, it's really versatile. You can wear it over a dress, as I'm wearing it right now, or with jeans or with something else. So you will find many ways to wear this this poncho blouse. So as for the sizing, in the original design it was up to extra large or large, I don't remember exactly. It has a pretty weird construction, so that's why it's difficult to I don't know, it's difficult to grade it on bigger sizes, but I did my best, because you will need, this is the foundation chain, which will give you this length, and to go wider here you will need more stitches, because you will decrease here and you need to still have stitches for the cuff. So because you need more rows over here to make it larger, then you will need more stitches over here. I don't know how to say it, because the decreases on this side to keep it straight are can be done in one single way, so I didn't manage to find some different way to keep the bottom straight and do those decreases not at every row, for example. So the yarn that I use is DK weight yarn. My original design was with cotton yarn and also DK, and this is really luxurious yarn with silk, with like lyocell, I think, I don't know how it's pronounced correctly, with baby camel. So it's really nice, but it can be worn in cotton as well, or different fiber if you want. As for the crochet hook, we will be using a 4.5mm crochet hook for the blouse, or the required crochet hook to meet the gauge if you want to follow the stitch by stitch pattern. And for the edging, I use a 3.5mm crochet hook because most of the edges needed to be became smaller than it was the original fabric. But of course you can adjust that, and all the openings of the blouse, the neckline, the cuffs, the bottom hem can be adjusted simply by deciding to stitch more or less stitches. So yeah, I think I'm done with all the explanation. I hope that the tutorial will give you more. So let's just get started.
Okay, so this is the yarn that I'm using, is Beacon DK by Expression Fiber Arts in the color Torrent, and it's a DK weight yarn, and we will be using a 4.5mm crochet hook. For the edging, we will use a 3.5mm crochet hook, and we will start with the first section. And I will chain for size small 93 stitches. After finishing chaining, we will chain 3, which will count as the first double crochet, then chain 1 as a separating chain, and then into the 6th chain we will work our first V-stitch, double crochet, chain 1 and 1 double crochet into the same stitch. Now chain 1, skip the next 3 stitches, and into the 4th we will work again a V-stitch, double crochet, chain 1 and another double crochet into the same stitch, and we will repeat until we will have 2 stitches left. And we will meet at the end of the row to see how we finish this row. So we chained 1, we have 1 stitch left, and into the last stitch we will work a double crochet. Now chain 4 and work into the 1 chain space of the next V-stitch, 1 V-stitch. Chain 1 and work another V-stitch into the next V-stitch, and we will repeat until the last V-stitch of the row. And we will finish the row with chain 1, and into the third chain we will work 1 double crochet. And now we will continue to repeat this row 2 until we will have in total 28 rows. Now we will start with section 2, and we will chain 3, and then we will double crochet into each stitch, into each one chain space and into each double crochet. I like to work the stitches, the double crochet, through the chain stitches where I have one chain space and not under, because it will look neater, and I love doing it so. And we will continue with 1 double crochet into each stitch. And at the end of this row you will have 95 stitches, so with 2 more than with which we started. And now I started with a decrease, so chain 3 and turn, then skip the next stitch and work a double crochet into the third. This will be the decrease that we will do at the beginning of the row, and for this section and at the beginning of the row, when making this decrease, the chain 3 won't count as a first stitch. And we will finish the row with 1 double crochet into the third chain. Now we will chain 3, and at this end we won't decrease, so we will keep decreasing every row but only at one end. So now we are continuing working double crochet into each stitch until we will have 3 stitches left. So starting from now we will keep decreasing with 2 stitches per row. I will count my last stitch as being the last double crochet. At the end of the row we will work 2 double crochet together wide, so I'm going into the next stitch and then skip 1 stitch and going into the last double crochet, and I will finish this 2 double crochet together. And now we will have to repeat these 2 rows until, for my size, until I will have 36 rows, and we will keep decreasing at this end. So chain 3, skip the next stitch and 1 double crochet in next, and then continue with double crochet into each stitch. After finishing all 36 rows, you need to repeat the same pattern for the second panel, and we are about to assemble the pieces together. So first we will have to join the side edge of the first section and then the edge of the second section. Then we will work and leave the bottom hem, and then the rest of the segments we will stitch them together to create the cuffs. So let's see how we are doing that. So I will start by joining the side edge over here, which is the foundation of my first section, and I want to use the crochet hook right now to create a lace joining, but you can do use the yarn needle if you want. So I rejoin yarn into the left piece and chain 3 the bottom stitch, and then going into the first stitch of the right side and work a single crochet. Now I will chain 2 and I will go into the bottom of the next V-stitch and work a single crochet. Chain 2, going into the other side, the bottom of the V-stitch, and work a single crochet. Chain 2 and move further in the same manner until you complete the entire edge. Now we will start joining the side edges of the second section, the longer side, and I will be using the yarn needle this time. I will measure the length that I will need to sew 3 times and then cut the yarn. And if you think that you need the neckline opening to be smaller, then you can stitch not only the rows of section 2 but also a few rows of section 1 if you think that you will be needing the neckline opening to be a bit smaller. This will get smaller if you are doing the edging at the end with a smaller crochet hook, and we also will be doing some decreases on the sides. But anyways, if you think that is too big, then you can stitch a few more rows, and this is the time to do it, because otherwise you will need to stitch them at the end. So now I'm going to go and I will stitch together these pieces using the ladder stitch, and I just insert the needle through the first stitch of the right panel and then going from front to back into the first stitch of the left panel, making a knot to secure those ends. And now I will go into the first stitch, which is the bottom of a double crochet, and I will go up and get out through the bottom of that first double crochet. Then go into the left side and do the same, top double crochet, bottom double crochet. Now we will have a chain 3, so I'm going into the bottom of double crochet and getting out through the first chain of my next row. Same into the left side, and then I will go with the needle into that first chain and getting out through the third chain. So always we will go for double crochet top bottom and chain 3 first chain third chain, and we will continue weaving like this until we finish sewing our piece together. Okay, now the next thing is to establish the cuffs. So I had, I think, 25 stitches on each side for the cuff. You can measure it to know the width or the length that you need to leave for the other sleeve. I measured and calculated, and I will need about to let for the sleeve about 13 rows. So you either can measure it or you can simply let those 13 rows, and then we will stitch together the rest of the side rows that we have for section 1. So the rest of the rows we will stitch them together either with the same lace joining with a crochet hook as we did for the side edge, or you can use the needle and yarn to stitch together. Now for the bottom hem, you will need to leave the opening for the bottom hem, and this is about what you'll need as an opening for your size. So I calculated again to see how many rows to let for the bottom opening, but of course that you can measure yourself and your body and see how much you will need. For this particular design, I let a bit more than my bust circumference or width, because then I will need to make the edging and it will shrink a bit, and I need to be able to dress up this blouse, so I will need to fit my bust with the bottom hem. So after establishing all the openings that we need now for the cuff, the second cuff, because the first one is the same as the number of stitches that we have left after finishing the second section, and for the bottom hem, then the rest of the segments that we have and are not openings, we need to stitch them together. So for the when joining the first section, to leave the opening for the second cuff, the left one or the right one, doesn't matter, because you can wear it reverse as well. So I will use the same lace stitching or joining as I did for the side edge. So I joined into the left side, the bottom stitch of the left side. We will chain 3 and go into the first stitch, the first bottom stitch of the right side, and single crochet. Then chain 2, and I will go into the you need to go in between the rows right now, so right at the end of the first row. Then chain 2, and I will go right at the end of the next row. If it's a chain 3, you can go into the third stitch over there. If it's a double crochet, try to go into that stitch or space that you find in between the rows. So we will now stitch together all the segments that we have left, either with the needle. On the other side, on the section number 2, only in double crochet. I will stitch the rest of the side rows from the bottom. After establishing the number of side rows for the bottom hem, I will stitch the rest until the cuff, and here this segment until the second cuff. Okay, so after finishing all the assembling, we will start working the edges. We will work the edges using a 3.5mm crochet hook, so a smaller hook that will make our edges, and all the openings will become smaller. I will start with the neckline, and at the neckline where the joining are, so into the both sides, we will work 3 single crochet together, because we want to make a decrease every row on these edges. So either you're starting with the decrease, or as I did, I started starting with the next row, I will do a decrease at the beginning with 2 single crochet together, and I will skip last stitch before joining the round. So here we're going with single crochet stitches all around, and because we are working into the side row, I will work 2 stitches, 2 single crochet stitches into each double crochet side row or V-stitch side row. If you feel like your tension, according with your tension, you need to work these single crochet stitches differently. Maybe more than 2 or maybe less, or maybe do at every 2 rows make only 1 single crochet. It really depends on your tension, but as pattern or as proportion, I was using 2 single crochet into each side row. And we will go all around, and as I said, at those side edges we will decrease by working 3 single crochet together. So we will decrease with 2 stitches into each side here at the beginning of the row, and then when I will get at the joining of the two sections one that I join. Here you need to pay attention because we have those chain 3 at from the joining, so make sure that you're going with the 3 single crochet together right in the middle of that join. You can use stitch markers to mark the decrease stitch, so you will know where to decrease next. Okay, so now I marked the stitch where I need to decrease on the next row, and now we will continue to work 1 single crochet into each stitch or 2 single crochet into each side row until we will get to the end of the round. In total for this edge I worked 5 single crochet rows or rounds, and you'll see that we will finish with an extra round in slip stitches. So now at the end of the round I will slip stitch into the first single crochet, and now I will start with a decrease. And then I will continue with 1 single crochet into each stitch until my next decrease. If you don't want to make these decreases on the sides, it's perfectly fine. Maybe you want to decrease all around if you need to make this neckline smaller. So now with 1 stitch before the stitch marker I will start to work those 3 single crochet together, and then continue with single crochet in each stitch. Now on the 3rd single crochet row, because I need to start with a decrease, and I need to start with a decrease and have the first stitch basically will be the last single crochet. So as I said, I will start with only 2 single crochet together, and at the end of the row I will skip the last stitch. So we need to have, instead of 3 stitches, we need to have 1. And we will continue to work in the same manner, 5 rows in single crochet with this decreases at this 2 ends or sides. So here the last stitch I will skip it and I will join with a slip stitch into my decrease, and from here every row will be the same until we will finish 5 rows. Okay, so I finished all 5 rows over here in single crochet, and this last round I did it for all the edging, but it's not mandatory, so I will go one more round in slip stitches. You can see that the edge in single crochet tend to curl a bit to the outside, so with the slip stitches this will add a bit more shape to this edge over here. So the same edging we will be doing for the bottom hem and cuffs, only without decreases. And if you feel like the openings are getting too small with these slip stitches at the end, you can skip it, or you can use for it a bigger crochet hook. And after finishing everything, you will need to weave in all the ends, and basically the blouse is done. I really hope you enjoyed this video and you will try to make this Be Glam Poncho Blouse, that you like it, and yeah, can't wait to see your makes. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time. Bye.